Julian Assange is in trouble. Bad trouble. Does he rate it or not? Put another way, is he a hero or a heel? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We interrupt your day for a short bulletin from Declarations of Truth. I'm your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. Yes, Julian Assange, founder of WikiLeaks, made the news yesterday. The Home Office of the United Kingdom ruled him subject to extradition to the United States. The decision is not final. Assange has 14 days to appeal it. But it puts him one step closer to a peril that the Home Secretary might or might not appreciate or care about. Indeed, American authorities could lock him up and throw away the key. We're going to talk about the ostensible reason for that and the real reasons. Then I'll make the case that he doesn't rate that and tell you what might happen to him. I warn you up front, you are not going to like it. Now, while you're waiting, I do want to shout out to the sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views, link in the description. Be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of good merchandise there, including this t-shirt, the Trumpinator, saying, "I'll be back." While we're at it, I'm going to shout out to another sponsor, BitNext. This is your replacement for Zoom, Slack, the Google G Suite, Microsoft Office 365, Dropbox, WeTransfer, and Chili Piper, among others. Unlike any of them, BitNext protects your content and conversations so well even the administrators can't see it. So this is your channel for secure comms, conferencing, cloud storage, and file sharing. Best of all, everything is back-end, so you don't even need client software. If you have a browser, you can use BitNext. Follow the link and give them a try. 28 days free of charge. You can't beat that with a stick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. The sources and background for this story come from three different places, mainly. The Bee, CNN, and an NPR-affiliated station. And I have a report from CNAV itself. To review, Julian Assange in 2006 founded WikiLeaks, which advertises itself as a library of censored or otherwise restricted materials. These are no ordinary materials. They all have to do with war, spying, and corruption. According to their What Is page, they make every effort to authenticate any document they receive or hear about. In an interview with Der Spiegel, Julian Assange said this of his creation: WikiLeaks is a giant library of the world's most persecuted documents. We give asylum to these documents, we analyze them, we promote them, and we obtain more. Unquote, Julian Assange. The case at hand involves the infamous Bradley Manning, who since opted for surgical and hormonal transition and now goes by the name Chelsea Manning. Manning served as an Army intelligence analyst. In that capacity, Manning handled some many classified communications and other documents relating to the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. In 2010, Manning stole a large trove of these documents and furnished them to WikiLeaks. They, after authenticate them, release them to the public. The charges against Julian Assange specify that he, 1, helped Manning crack the password to gain unauthorized access in order to obtain the material, and 2, published material he knew was classified and in so doing put lives at risk. Julian Assange seems to be no respecter of persons or political affiliations, for though the official charges against him arise out of publishing material, sensitive Iraq and Afghanistan material, his real problem stems from his publishing sensitive emails from Hillary Clinton's bathroom server. Several conservative commentators, including some of CNAV's contributors, have used this information to embarrass Hillary Clinton. Joan Swirsky and Paul Eidelberg both cited WikiLeaks in connection with the Hillary Clinton emails. A source at the now-defunct Examiner.com site found a different document in the connection with Operation Fast and Furious. Yours truly used that information to punch a hole in the government's case about people running guns into America from Mexico. In point of fact, the Justice Department has never charged Assange with anything relating to the Hillary emails, nor have they charged him in connection with revelations about any government programs other than the Iraq-Afghanistan war. but they still want to charge him for how he got the Iraq and Afghanistan documents. In the latest charge, they allege that he, and I quote, recruited hackers from groups such as Anonymous, LulzSec, and Gnosis to launch cyber attacks against government agencies, cybersecurity firms, and other entities, hoping to compromise internal databases and gather sensitive documents. In fact, Julian Assange faces 18 different charges, but these charges do not include accessory to murder or anything relating to the death of a U.S. intelligence source. They allege that he risks other people's lives, but they do not go so far to allege that he cost lives. Now, it's full disclosure time. I remember the drama surrounding the first WikiLeaks publications. At first, I believed the government's case. A nation-state must keep some secrets because revealing those secrets can get people killed. Furthermore, Bradley/Chelsea Manning does not impress anyone as a heroine, but rather as an opportunist. And most of all, coming out as it did during the Barack Obama administration, it sounded a lot like Barack Obama further discrediting his predecessor, the way ancient Egyptian pharaohs did over and over again, and also doing a favor for his fellow Muslims. I say Muslims because I remember his slip of the tongue about his Muslim faith. Aside from that, Julian Assange struck me then and strikes me now as an anarchist. The site Hollowverse confirms that he gives that impression universally. He also is an atheist. But then I waited for the reports of the first recovery of a body, perhaps bound hand and foot and throat cut, or maybe a severed head and a headless body recovered halfway across the city. Anyway, I waited and waited and waited, and I'm still waiting. Meanwhile, the revelations all turned out to be things Americans had a right to know and are worth knowing. His entry in Conservapedia perhaps gives the most honest and balanced account about him. Let me quote to you the second paragraph of that entry. Assange was a hero of the American left when he published documents which discredited the Bush administration and aided the election of Barack Obama, but became a villain after the murder of Seth Rich. Assange published documents about the Obama administration's lies in the Benghazi massacre and exposed the Hillary Clinton email scandal. The American left then called him a tool of Russia, unquote Conservapedia. Julian Assange also figured in Special Counsel John Durham's investigation. Again, I quote from Conservapedia. U.S. Attorney John Durham investigated Brennan, Clapper, Comey, and Strzok's motives. All the downstream claims about Russian activity, including the Russian indictments promoted by Rosenstein and the Mueller team, are centered around origination claims of Russian activity outlined in the ICA. This easily explains exactly why actors within the DOJ, FBI, and intelligence community needed to throw a bag over Julian Assange, unquote. For these and other reasons, Donald J. Trump could and should have vacated the charge against Julian Assange. He then could bring him to this country as a material witness against Hillary Clinton and other deep state players. His failure to do so is part of Trump's larger lack of imagination about how deep the corruption goes and who can bear effective witness to it. Today, Julian Assange, in my admittedly humble opinion, has every reason to fear for his life. Material witnesses to corruption do not survive long in American prisons today. Jeffrey Epstein did not. I'm surprised that Ghislaine Maxwell, his former associate, still survives, and I wonder for how long. In the last 24 hours, I heard a report that someone, I'll let you guess who, tried to hire her cellmate to kill her. Now, if Julian Assange loses his appeal, or perhaps even before the time expires, then the next we hear of Julian Assange is likely to read that he hanged himself in his cell, just like Jeffrey Epstein. And you know what I'm going to say. Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. Neither will Julian Assange. Links in the description of the article to Conservapedia's entry on Julian Assange and to conservative news and views. I have another link to the awesome online store and to BitNext, as I also mentioned. And if you like what you've heard, you can like this video and subscribe to this channel. This is Terry A. Hurlbut. delivering another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.